Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, state lawmakers are talking about proposed DUI legislation. Critics say it could make it harder to convict people guilty of DUI. And the supply chain crisis driving up prices this holiday season is now getting the attention of lawmakers. What industry experts say about the problem and potential solutions.
We have a big cold front knocking on our door for tomorrow, and that will put an end to the 70s for the late week. I'll have the very latest coming up right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. You may have noticed that your grocery bills are going up if you can find everything you need. Lawmakers have noticed too, and they held a hearing today to discuss the supply chain issues that are causing the problem. CBS's Natalie Brand has more from Capitol Hill.
From Christmas shopping to the Thanksgiving turkey, the global supply chain crisis is driving up prices this holiday season.
Some people have asked, is the increase because of the demand? It is not because of the demand. The increase is just to cover our base costs, how they've increased from last year.
It is truly a crisis. Thanksgiving stands to be the most expensive ever.
The House Transportation Committee heard from industry experts and asked them about the status of the Biden administration's plan to get ports moving 24/7 to help clear the backlog.
The head of the Port of Long Beach says they're testing a pilot program at his port, but a widespread change could take longer.
You just can't flip a switch and change this model today, but the good news, there's a lot of conversation in terms of that being the objective.
As of late last week, the backlog of ships in a holding pattern off the coast of Southern California sat at more than 80 vessels. But the problem doesn't end there. The trucking industry says the pandemic has worsened the shortage of truck drivers.
Truckers entered COVID-19 short 61,500 drivers, now at 80,000 short as we exit the pandemic.
Drivers say they're also losing time and money as they sit outside ports waiting for cargo containers.
It's just one choke point of many, and you can stay open 24/7. You just got to have more people putting in the time at those ports to move those containers.
In addition to getting more workers on the docks, experts say America's major ports are in desperate need of modernization. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers touted $17 billion in the newly passed bipartisan infrastructure bill dedicated to upgrading ports and waterways. With the holidays right around the corner, food pantries are in need of more donations. They say they are seeing shortages of donations right now. Kentucky Veterans Brigade out in Bowling Green specifically is asking for small bags of rice, pancake mix, and jelly. Individual small items make it easier to divide for food boxes. Their food pantry might look close to full now due to Veterans Day, but they say that will not be the case soon.
We got an overwhelming response from the community and other organizations that have completely filled our food pantry, and we are so grateful. But in 3 weeks, we will see the same shortages again.
Feeding America's website says that 1 in 7 people in Kentucky face hunger. That number only increases with children, with 1 in every 6 children facing hunger issues.
A bright sunny day around the mountains today. It was actually pretty nice outside of the breezy conditions. It was a pretty warm and nice day, and even at this hour, still dealing with the warm temperatures. I-64 at Moorhead, you see some of those clouds moving overhead as we continue to see the sun set there in the background. Mountain Parkway at Slade, sun setting there as well. As you can see, some of those oranges and reds in the sky. Still at 70 right now. Jackson, Prestonsburg, even up to Ashland. Upper 60s now, Hazard and into Pikeville. Mid-60s as you head down into the Cumberland Valley. Satellite and radar, well, we've kept things on the sunny side as we've gone through the daytime hours today. However, those clouds are going to start to increase again a little bit later on. Keep that WYNT weather app handy because we are down into the 60s and even upper 50s overnight, but those temperatures not moving a whole lot as we head through the overnight hours as our cold front draws near. I'll have the latest on when showers begin to move back into the region coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve?
Thank you. The lawmakers want to change Kentucky's DUI laws to get rid of what they call a loophole. DUI suspects are allowed to refuse a blood test after a crash right now, and police say that creates a challenge, especially with drivers under the influence of drugs. Victor Puente sat in on a meeting in Frankfort about it today.
Today, legislators heard from county attorneys who said a decision by the Kentucky Supreme Court earlier this year is having a direct impact on their ability to prosecute some DUI cases.
Going forward, prosecutors are now on notice that a DUI arrestee has a constitutional right to refuse a blood test, and his or her decision to refuse to submit to a blood test cannot be testified to by the arresting officer, so the refusal can no longer be introduced as evidence, nor can it even be commented on by a prosecutor.
They want to amend the DUI laws to allow officers to obtain a search warrant when a suspect refuses a request for a blood test.
Representative Flannery said he has pre-filed a bill for next session. The exact wording of that bill is still being finalized.
Currently, statutory law does not allow a search warrant on a DUI case unless there is a death or physical injury. We're going to strike that.
Alan George said this impacts people driving under the influence of drugs the most because there's no field test, like a breathalyzer, they can use as evidence. He also said laws like this one are becoming more common.
According to the most recent Mothers Against Drunk Driving report, 34 states already allow for search warrants without any conditions in the event of a blood test refusal, including all 7 of our bordering states.
Lawmakers were generally supportive, but also recognized that the original case could still end up before the U.S. Supreme Court.
You can use a search warrant any other time, except for that, and I think that's dumb, and it does tie your hands.
In Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
George Allen said in 2020, 43% of the DUI arrests in Kentucky involved only drugs, and another 11% involved a combination of drugs and alcohol. A concerning report out today. For the first time ever, U.S. overdose deaths topped 100,000 in a 12-month period. The CDC reports more than 100,000 people died from an overdose from April of 2020 to April of 2021. Kentucky ranks in the top 3 for highest death increase. Coming up tonight at 6, our Phil Pendleton talked with addiction and drug recovery experts about what is contributing to the increase in these overdose deaths. School and safety should be synonymous, but for some schools in the Louisville area, staff members are finding guns in students' backpacks. By November 2019, Jefferson County public school officials found 6 guns on campus. This year, it is up to 10, including the airsoft and pellet guns. Louisville Metro PD Chief Erica Shields believes the numbers are even higher.
There are guns going into the schools every single day. There are gang members going into the schools every single day. And the conflicts that we're seeing in the communities don't stop just because they go into the schools.
Shields says students bring in guns because they might not feel safe in school, and the problem gets worse when they're bussed across town and forced to learn alongside rival gang members. Pulaski County deputies are asking for your help locating 2 lost or potentially stolen calves. The Sheriff's Department posted on its Facebook page that the 2 calves are missing in the area along Kentucky Route 461. They are described as around 450 to 500 pounds. One is black, the other is black and white faced. If you have any information or see these calves, you can leave an anonymous tip by calling police. A focus on COVID-19 boosters is intensifying, with the FDA expected to authorize Pfizer's extra shot for all adults as soon as Thursday. The latest COVID-19 wave is coming, even as the CDC says nearly 200 million Americans are now fully vaccinated, and about 10% of children 5 to 11 have received a first dose. But officials with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration announced this afternoon that they will temporarily not enforce the COVID-19 federal vaccine mandate on private employers. All Kentucky adults can now get a COVID-19 booster shot. Governor Beshear signing an executive order today authorizing Kentuckians to get the added protection against the virus. It comes as we get closer to the holiday season. A lot of people will be gathering for Thanksgiving and Christmas, And state and local health leaders continue to stress the importance of being vaccinated, and doctors say the booster shot is just as critical to prevent a possible new surge.
Then the vaccine came out. I checked my antibodies again, and they were gone right before I got the vaccine. So I think over time, both natural immunity and immunity from the vaccines will wane. And by doing the vaccines, it'll help boost that immunity.
Several other states besides Kentucky are already allowing any adult to get a booster. Kentucky is falling way behind Tennessee in the Big Blue Crush blood drive. The Kentucky Blood Center says it had low donor turnout for day 2 of the competition, only 335 people. That's compared to Tennessee's 453. The Volunteers are now leading 933 to 707. The blood center is in critical need. They say the low turnout is impacting hospital blood supply for the upcoming holidays. Today at the state capitol, Governor Beshear held an event to promote lung cancer awareness. He officially declared November Lung Cancer Awareness Month. The CDC says Kentucky has the highest lung cancer diagnosis and death rates in the nation. Patient advocates also joined the governor this afternoon to talk about the disease.
This proclamation is more important than usual. Often, we mean to put a spotlight or raise general awareness about an issue or a concern. We're doing that today, of course, but awareness when it comes to lung cancer has the potential to save lives.
Kentucky's death rate when it comes to lung cancer is 50% higher than the national average. Well, it's that time of year. Our sister station WKYT is teaming up with Mission of Hope and Chick-fil-A to spread some holiday cheer across the Commonwealth, particularly in Appalachia. Today at the Meijer in Hamburg and Lexington, people came out to shop for the toy drive. Allie Blake was there.
WKYT is once again partnering with Chick-fil-A and Mission of Hope for our annual toy drive. Last year it was virtual due to the pandemic, but this year we're excited to have people roll right up to the station to drop off their toys.
Mission of Hope is truly a mission of hope, and it provides scholarships, toys, hygiene items, so many different things to children of Appalachia.
Christine Mullins, Director of Marketing and PR for Chick-fil-A, says it means so much to the kids of Eastern Kentucky to get gifts for the holidays.
Been privileged to be there when the children get their toys, get to choose their toys, and it is a privilege to see someone that might not have something to get that precious toy.
Mullins says that sometimes the children even pick out gifts for their parents or siblings to try and spread the holiday spirit.
So Chick-fil-A so much wants to be generous to our community and the people in Appalachia as well. And so what we'll do is provide for everyone a digital offer card when they drop off their toy at Channel 27.
Not only will you be doing good, but you can also eat good. When you donate, you can be given a breakfast or lunch item from Chick-fil-A, and a special guest will meet you there.
The cow, of course, will be there. You can't have Chick-fil-A and not have the cow, right? So Santa Cow will be there with us, and I'm so glad to have him back.
If you'd like to donate, you can roll up to WKYT from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. on November 30th, which is Giving Tuesday, to show up and bring your toys. In Lexington, Allie Blake, WKYT.
And we also have a link to donate over on our website at WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, ever wonder what it would be like to shadow a mail delivery person? We'll share that experience in just a bit.
And another cold front is headed our way for the last couple of days of the work week. I'll have the latest on the way.